Hey guys! I recently did a video about the positive ways that Germany has affected me since I've been living here. I have been living here for 5 years now, since 2018. I also lived here once before in 2015, and I thought today it would be fun to talk about the negative ways that I feel that Germany has affected me since I've been here. So let's get started. Number one is that my English has definitely gotten worse. I've definitely joked about this in past videos, and it's not a joke, it's real. The combination of trying to learn a new language and living in a different country and talking primarily to people in English or German, but to people that are not native English speakers, or a lot of my friends that are native English speakers are from the UK, New Zealand, different countries that I'm not from, so they also have different accents. It's definitely made my English worse. I mess up my sentences a lot. Sometimes I forget to put articles in sentences. Sometimes I switch the order of a sentence, or I leave out like small words because I'm used to hearing it like that quite often. And I also notice sometimes that I'll realize I'm doing it, but I do it anyways because that's how people speak here, and so I want to make sure that they understand me. However, I try to actively break that and not do it, but of course it carries over even when I go home. My friends are always making fun of me at home about how I talk because sometimes it sounds robotic or funny. Number two is I am definitely more introverted. I was always an extreme extrovert growing up, especially as like a teenager. And whenever I took those like Myers-Briggs tests, it was always like, everything else was like in the middle or somewhat, but extrovert was always like on one side. And maybe it seems like I'm very extroverted, which I am, but I'm definitely more introverted since I've lived here. And I think it's definitely a cultural thing. Germany is a more introverted country in total. More people are introverts here. And so I think that it makes me less outgoing in scenarios here where in the States, if I was out and I liked the way the dress someone was wearing, I'd be like, hey, I love your dress, or hi, what's going on? Or coming to a party and just starting to chat with new people and being really open. And here I feel way less apt to do that. And I don't think that I know that it's not because I'm not at home, because I've been to other countries and other places where that's absolutely not the case. And I notice that when I go in those situations, I already instantly open up more. But here in total, I feel more introverted. And I think that's because that is how the culture is here. It is more introverted. Number three is being less flexible than I used to be. I think being here, it's a very bureaucratic country. There's paperwork for everything. Everything has to be done a certain way. I've experienced that it's really hard to find a way around that, whereas in the States, there's also paperwork, but if you kind of know someone, then there's a way around it. And I think that here, there's a much more order to the way that you do things. I also think about that in terms of like, if you want to start a side hustle or a business, there's so much paperwork involved and so many rules, where I think it's way more flexible to do that in the US. And that's made me feel less creative and less open to try different ventures of different kind, because I think, I would have to deal with all of this bureaucracy that I don't want to deal with. I also experienced it in like a mindset thing that I don't want to go out of my box and do different things because I feel like it wouldn't be accepted here if I do it the way that I would want to do it. And number four is what I call the blues. I get the blues here quite often. And what I mean by that, if you don't know, the blues means like I get sad and I get lonely feeling quite a bit more often. I'm sure that every expat experiences that. But of course it stems from missing my friends, missing my family back home, a little bit of culture shock, It all sometimes makes you feel sad. Of course, the weather, there's times of the year when it's cold and stuff that it hits you even harder, but I definitely feel like I'm not, that I have the blues more than I did not living here. And number 5 is always feeling like a foreigner. I always feel like an outsider here. It doesn't matter how long that I've lived here, and I would like to think if my German gets even better, perhaps that's not the case. I feel more comfortable living here than I used to, but I don't know if that feeling will ever go away because it is a different country, because it is a different culture. I feel like the second that I speak out loud to someone, and this might be something I'm projecting inside, there's definitely experiences with people where I know I'm not the one projecting it, but I think because of those experiences, I also project it in situations where it's maybe not the case, but I feel like I am always going to be the foreigner. The second that someone hears me talk, they know that I'm not from here, and I feel like I'm looked at or treated differently. And I feel lucky because I know I'm a foreigner from a country where I think I at least am treated better than definitely other people are treated here. So I'm aware of that, but I still feel like I will always be a foreigner living here. What do you guys think? Do you guys live here in Germany, and what negative things did you experience within yourself in the time that you've lived here? What did you experience changing in yourself? I would be super interested to know. So if you would like to share, please share in the comments below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.